about 10 years ago I started thinking about getting I was starting to look at vintage guitars. Obviously normally they're really expensive, so I thought I'd start off with the easiest option, which was just to look into the internet at what was for sale, and I found some guitars that are built. I've been living in Germany for the last 20 years, and there's a good selection of guitars that are made in part of the old East Germany in the 60s, around the time of Hofner, and the actual area, Vogtland, Markneukirchen. It was one of the sort of main instrument manufacturing areas in Germany for a long time, since the 1800s, building violins and that type of thing. And they started building guitars. Martin guitars started in that area, which I wasn't really aware of, but there's a massive amount of history there, So I bought a guitar. It was quite cheap, didn't think anything of it. Restored it, modernized it slightly to make it a bit more playable, which is this guitar here, called the manufacturer's called Musima, and it's just got this incredible sound. Timber quality is good, the build quality is, for the time period, what you'd expect, I guess. Built the CNC machines in those days, and it was part of the new development of guitars at the time. So they're not off the shelf, weren't the best guitars you could get, but because of the quality of the timber and because of the fact that it's aged, the timber is very stable. And you can restore them and slightly modernise them, new machine heads, new frets on their modern frets. It's just got this incredible sound, and you just can't buy this sound. Since then, I've had a bit of a fascination with these guitars. I've been using them to play live. It's just quite exciting, The guitars probably should have been in a skip 15-20 years ago, or burnt on a fire or something like that, and I've given it a new life, and actually use it live, and it just has got an incredible presence. Also for sort of acoustic orientated type of music, I guess, a Neil Young type of music through fuzz pedals. It sounds incredible. Just an amazing guitar, and I've got 3 of them now. And I recently bought a jazz guitar from exactly the same era, so the 1960s, maybe the end of the 50s. Done the same restoration on it, got the same results, but I didn't have any pickups at the time. So I actually, a year ago, bought some pickups that are fitted to these guitars, and the manufacturer is a company called Simeto. They still exist. There you go. Company still exists, and they just supply or build electronic components. Nothing to do with the music industry anymore, but again, part of the old East German part of Germany. And the strange thing is really the quality of the build of the pickups is essentially, compared with a sort of 60s humbucker, doesn't look as though the build quality is as good, but the sound is unbelievable. Made me start thinking about trying to find out why what makes pickups what they are, really. What's the difference between a cheap pickup and an expensive pickup? So I've got all the equipment here. I've got oscilloscopes and signal generators, but it's a lot of it's not something you can just get a pickup and plug it in and do a quick test. At the same time, I came across this microprocessor product here, which is basically an Arduino, which is a programmable computer, if you like, with access to inputs and outputs. Got digital inputs, digital outputs, analog inputs, analog outputs, and I started thinking about maybe I could automate this test. So a year later, lots of tests and trying out various ways of solving the problem, I came up with my first prototype. Show it a bit of light. There you go. And what this does, it uses it supplies a sine wave, and I measure the reaction of the sine wave across a resistor, basically using Ohm's law. And I can calculate then all the relevant information about the pickup that's on test. It also produces a frequency graph to give you a picture of how the pickup responds to different frequencies. I've also got so you can connect via these simple connects here, pickups to it. I've also got another socket here which allows me to plug a Gauss sensor into it and allows me to measure the magnetic strength and the magnetic orientation, so north or south direction of the magnets on the pickups. So this product allows me to do a complete test on a pickup. It takes about 30 seconds. And that is the first prototype I built, and this is the second one because my wife was complaining about the screen size and things like this. So this one's got a slightly bigger screen. It's got easier access using jack plugs. So I've got a jack plug here with crocodile clips connected to it, which means I can plug in a pickup. So this is showing the frequency response from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. This works out the resonant frequency. This works out the inductance. And that's all the results you get. So I'm going to do some close-up filming now of tests running. So I've got a 1980s Fender Elite pickup, which comes from a horrible Fender Elite Telecaster, which is that there. I've also got a Gibson P90. Got a Simeto ETA1, which is this East German made pickup. I've also got this horrid cheap P90, which is interesting because you can see a comparison between the results you get on this type of rubbish pickup and a proper Gibson P90. And I'm also doing some tests on the guitars, which is a Strat with custom shop 69s and a PBass with vintage PBass reissue pickups. And I'm also doing a Gauss test, so the magnet test on the Gibson P90. Huh? Finley, what do you think? Good? Very good, wasn't it? Good night.